The Knicks postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. Tonight in Phoenix, OG Anunoby 9 of his 15 in the fourth quarter. But 101 all, shot clock ticking down. Devin Booker, key 2. He had 31. And then down 3, 13 seconds to go. Jalen Brunson, tough pass, ends up going off of Bridges, turnover. Knicks had 6 fourth quarter turnovers. Brunson only 1 of 6 shooting in the fourth quarter. And the Suns beat the Knicks 112-107. Great to have you with us here from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto along with Hahn and Wally Szczerbiak. So the Knicks begin this 4-game road trip out west tonight in Phoenix with a loss. They've now lost 5 of the last 6. And your number to watch, your stat to watch was turnovers. Yeah. And that turned out to be, I hate to admit, the key number of the whole game.
But it was definitely the key number for both teams in this game because the Suns are a high turnover team, but they force a lot of turnovers as well. The Knicks are a high points off turnover team, but they also give that up. And it was plus 11 in favor of the Suns. And the 6 turnovers in the fourth quarter. You don't expect Jalen Brunson in crunch time to struggle the way he did in this game in crunch time with 2 massive turnovers late in the game, which ended up being the difference.
Yeah, you take a lot of positives. Lockdown defense by the Knicks in that fourth quarter to get them back into the game. With 2 minutes to go, you have the ball tied at 101. The ball's in Jalen Brunson's hands. That's how you win games on the road in the NBA. You keep it close for as long as you can, and then you have your closer make the big plays down the stretch. Jalen just didn't make the big plays. You know, he missed a shot that he normally makes, 2 consecutive turnovers, and at some point, Devin Booker can close too. He hit a big shot. Royce O'Neal hit the big 3. This was a tough loss for the Knicks because they did a lot of the things they've wanted to get better at, and it didn't come away with a victory. Yeah.
Man, the Knicks were, it was the physicality going back and forth was unbelievable. The Knicks allowed only 7 points in the first 10 minutes, Alan, of the fourth quarter. And they ended up only giving up 18 fourth quarter points total, and they still lost the game. Yeah. When have you seen a Knicks team give up under 20 points in the fourth quarter and still lose? I mean, that's a rarity.
It is a rarity, but it's also the type of game that it was. The physicality was going to come down to really who was going to be able to make the shots late, because even though the Knicks were down going into the fourth quarter, they had a run left in them, and they really showed you, like, they got after it. Look, the positives you want to take from this after getting that win over the Clippers is that the Knicks are kind of finding that level that they got to get to. This is the shot right here, Wally. This shot right here over Mitchell Robinson. Devin Booker just have it roll in. That's a tough shot. Now here's Brunson, and he just gets locked up. A little reach in there from Grayson Allen, knocks it off his leg. That was turnover 1.
Yep, and then the ball movement there. It's good decision by McBride, still kind of on O'Neal.
You know, that's their only 3 of the fourth quarter?
Yeah, they didn't shoot well in the fourth quarter at all. Deuce now cuts it to 3, trying to keep the Knicks into the game, but this turnover also.
Now look how hard Grayson Allen plays here. Yep. He just keeps going. He was terrible offensively in this game, but he played so hard defensively. That is extra effort that helps you win. That play right there.
All right, the 3-point shooting guys basically even. Free throws, not that big a differential. The Knicks actually dominated the rebounding numbers, but look at the bottom. We focus on those turnovers as the Knicks commit 18 and Phoenix commits 10. And the point differential, Phoenix outscored the Knicks in terms of turnovers by 11. 11 points differential plus to Phoenix. That's probably the key number, as Alan started the show with. That's a big number in the whole game.
Would you say, though, the effort-wise, this is what you wanted,
no question. No question. The Knicks are matching the physicality of a team that was going after them, banging them all over the place. This game got a little chippy. We thought a little brouhaha might kind of spark up. It was getting close. Nothing wrong with that. You like that toughness, that physicality. But overall, offensively, the Knicks, you know, in the fourth quarter, they got to get back to simplifying the offense a little bit. I mean, the ball's moving a lot for most of the time, but in the fourth, when the defense buckles down, you need to have simplicity as far as what you're doing with the ball, who's getting the shots, and how you're executing. And I thought the Knicks were a little careless because they were kind of moving the ball almost around a little too much.
Towns only got 1 fourth quarter shot.
Yeah.
And I mentioned when we started, Brunson only 1 of 6 in the fourth quarter shooting.
I know. That's Towns won after he played so well last game. You got to try to find ways to get him more opportunities, just to make the offense look a little bit more, you know, just simpler. Sometimes the offense bogs down in that fourth quarter, and it looks like guys just aren't playing with a good rhythm. And
they were
partially the defense, but it's also, you know, at times the ball needs to be in his hands to make things happen. Now, the 2 big lineup was great. 50
well,
to
that's what got
37
him back,
on the boards.
right?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, Mitchell
was
Robinson
awesome.
was dominant in the fourth quarter with
And
6 offensive rebounds.
And again, look at Towns' numbers. Like, I like the fact that you got 12 rebounds out of him. You got effort out of him. It was a physical game, and he had no problem with it, right? Like, you got the honest effort out of Karl Anthony Towns now in his second consecutive game where you're seeing. But you're right about him not getting the ball. It was, to me, in the last 2 minutes, the offense turned back into everybody spread out, and it was a one-on-one ISO situation. Those are normally moments that Jalen Brunson has, those Jalen Brunson clutch moments. And this is I can't remember the last time we've seen him in clutch where he has struggled the way he struggled, and you have to give credit to the way the Suns played him. They were ready for it. Everything he had for them.
All right, guys. Monica McNutt helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. She now joins us from Phoenix. Monica, what do you think? Knicks go down by 5, losing 112-107 tonight.
In solidarity with our terrific team in the truck, the line that we've come up with is this performance was kind of goofy, like you guys hanging out at Yacht Rock?
Yes. We had a great time last night.
Nothing goofy about that.
Nothing goofy. We got some great pictures we want to show you.
None we're going to share.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, if I'll take your word for it. But we'll have to get with Spencer and those guys, and we'll evaluate how silly it was or wasn't. But honestly, Tyler and I were talking down the stretch, and I'm like, what's your word for tonight? Tyler used the word tease because he felt like you had the opportunities to come back and get this win to start this West Coast trip. I would use the word immature, you guys. Like, it just felt like the thing that we are relying on in terms of what will propel this team late as the landscape in the Eastern Conference, and we talk about the playoffs, continues to unfold, is the maturity, the veterans, the clutch performance even. And tonight, I thought it was a uncharacteristic and sort of immature performance late.
Yeah, normally they close games when they get it down to a tie game with 2 minutes to go. I agree. Interesting lineup with Deuce McBride playing most of the fourth quarter. Bridges was not out there on the floor.
Right.
Obviously, coach likes his physicality, his defense, and his shot making. And the Knicks got some stuff to figure out. You know, they're right there knocking on the door, but it's not easy to bank wins in the NBA.
One thing I did want to say about this game is that because it had that playoff physicality, playoff intensity, you could see the Suns getting after it. You're playing in the Western Conference, so get used to this. And off what Monica's saying, it does kind of spark in my head, like, if you want to win in the playoffs, you have championship aspirations, you better get used to this, right? Like, the Knicks have to figure out how to be able to play at that level for more than just a pocket of the game and not give away a 5-minute span in the third quarter where you're not scoring and you're complaining at the officials. Like, when you say immature, Monica, that's what I'm thinking. You still got to get that out of your game.
And
Monica,
I think you're right.
Go ahead.
You're right, Hahn. Real quick, Pidto. You're right, Hahn, because to me, there's still a theory or a situation in which this game comes down to a one-possession ball game seesawing in the last 3 minutes, right? And that's fine. That's where you are. NBA wins are hard to come by. But you're exactly right. There were stretches in the fourth quarter where Phoenix had gone flat out cold. And we are unaccustomed to the Knicks having an inability to capitalize on those opportunities. How many points in the paint? I won't call them all bunnies at the rim, but how many points in the paint did we see get unfriendly rolls? And that just is not something that is signature to who this group has been so far this season.
Monica, we're going to take a look at Devin Booker's night. 31 points in the key bucket over Mitchell Robinson there with the shot clock expiring with 2 minutes to go. Tonight's thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. What do you think about Devin Booker tonight, Monica?
I mean, he has been, I think, sort of an unsung hero when you zoom out and talk about the league at wide. I told you guys in the pregame show that Jordan Ott was effusive about who he is emerging to be as a leader defensively and offensively. And mind you, this is a team that has one of the better shooting performances, I believe league best shooting performance when it comes to clutch time, shooting 53.5%, right? Then you dig into the numbers a little bit more and look at how much they rely on isolation. Y'all, who they relying on isolation for? None other than Devin Booker, who cherry-picked down the stretch in the fourth quarter until he drew the matchup that he wanted to go ahead and do the bucket that we started that highlight with.
Yeah, and Devin Booker can close. You can see he's the guy there in Phoenix. You really need one dominant guy, and they've put a lot of great defenders and role player types around him. Dylan Brooks was big, just creating havoc for the Knicks. But I'm with you, Monica. I was proud of the way the Knicks matched the physicality, the way they started to get multiple stops in that fourth quarter. That was one of the best defensive stretches that we've seen out of the Knicks in a long time. They just couldn't capitalize offensively.
Yeah, and tell you what, Monica, who saw Dillon Brooks going 5 for 9 from 3. Just like he's taken a lot of threes this year, and we know his numbers are very good, but he doesn't shoot like that percentage from 3. But no one saw that coming in the box score. So that was another area of the game where it's like you see a guy getting hot, you got to learn to turn the water off.
Mm-hmm. You care to add anything to that, Monica?
She just agreed.
I was about to say, I literally was like, I'm trying to wait so Pidto can jump in. But, Hahn, I agree with you. And I would add to that.
Monica, I will never jump in. The floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, well, now that we're learning how the conversations go, I appreciate that, Pidto. The last thing I'll add, y'all, it's not a bad win. I think it's frustrating, a little bit immature, a tease, whatever word you want to toss out in that fourth quarter. But there were good things to take from this one. Ultimately, and Hahn, you know, y'all all know this, you've been out here, this place is loud. And I thought the energy that Dillon Brooks played with, home crowd energy, the play down the stretch by Grayson Allen. I mean, that's sort of who he is in the league, but also especially at home, right? This is a team who's taken a lot of pride in their defense this year, and you saw that particularly down in the clutch. And so maybe part of this is the conversation about the Phoenix Suns this season has not given them the respect that they are due, but there's plenty for the Knicks to both be proud of and learn from in this one.
All right, Monica, Sunday, Knicks at Portland, 5:30 pregame, game at 6. We'll talk to you then.
Sounds good.
Up next, Mike Brown's assessment of tonight as the Knicks lose by 5 to the Phoenix Suns, now 24-14 on the season.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Welcome back. The Suns beat the Knicks by 5. New York allowed only 18 fourth-quarter points. The problem was they only scored 21 fourth-quarter points. Mike Brown's post-game comments, as always, presented by Chase.
You know, I thought to start the game, we gave Phoenix, especially Dillon, more so than anybody else, a little too much space, and he got extremely comfortable out on the floor. And, you know, for him to go for 20, I think, on 8 for 10 from the floor in the first half, when most of them were just straight ISOs, is tough to overcome. But you know, our guys, I got to give our guys credit. They fought in the fourth quarter. They fought well enough to give us a chance to win, but at the end of the day, you know, holding them to 18 points was great. Playing a double big lineup, but at the end of the day, you know, when you have 18 turnovers for 22 points compared to their 10 turnovers for 11 points on the road, it's going to be tough to overcome. So again, we just have to make sure we try to do this for 48 minutes and not wait till the last quarter to turn it on defensively. Otherwise, it'd be tough, especially on the road.
Turnover with 14 seconds left. What did you see there?
You know, Jalen got the switch, and the young kid also did a pretty good job. Jalen tried to make the pass, and I thought that I think it was Allen. Yeah, I thought he stepped out of bounds before he threw it off McHale, but obviously he didn't, and that's why I tried to. That's what I was looking for.
Is there anything you could have seen there, like whether McHale goes more aggressive at it or boxes him out, that you'd like to see on that last play, on that play?
Yeah, for sure. You know, a situation like that, you got to go get the basketball. You can't rely on the officials to make the call. You got to go get the ball, and we didn't go get the ball.
You mentioned the turnovers. Just was part of it the way they play? It seemed like they were Brooks, Allen.
Yeah. And we told our guys, that was one of the keys. We told our guys, hey, look, they're going to be up in you. They're going to try to be physical with you, and that's the way they play. They've done a good job with it, and we fell into the way that they play, and even got frustrated picking up a couple of offensive fouls, and we have to do a better job with that instead of letting them dictate what's going on the floor.
As you mentioned, that first half, Brooks did get kind of in a rhythm, but you can also say they hit some tough shots. But that third quarter, it felt like your team was just scrambling a little bit. Is that a fair assessment defensively from where your group was?
Yeah, again, as they hit some tough shots to start the game, and that it's part of me is that's why I can't be too mad. But if a guy is going off like that, then we have to do a better job of just getting up into him, just creep up into him a little bit more and make him put it on the floor and rely on your help if he gets all the way to the rim or gets to the paint. We didn't really do that a great job with that.
I think one thing that shows when you guys play against physical defense, obviously Jalen's a tremendous ball handler to get into the paint. But it's after him, it's kind of not guys that are natural ball handlers. How much does that kind of hurt the offense, or at least hurt matchups in certain games when teams are having kind of switchable, versatile defenders that force other guys to bring the ball up and try to generate offense and get into the paint?
Yeah, it's where a guy like Josh helps out. A guy like Landry helps out. Landry was a point guard in college, and obviously we're trying to give some young guys an opportunity, and some guys that aren't in that situation opportunity, and they just got to do the best they can. Hey, and they know how to simplify what we're doing. They have a couple of different options when they bring it, but the biggest thing is if you're getting pressured, you're just going to have to go by. You're going to have to go by the defense. You're going to have to go by the defense. You can't allow the defense to dictate what you're doing, and we did that on a couple of possessions, bringing the ball up the floor.
Welcome back, everyone. As the Suns tonight beat the Knicks 112-107. We are back now from the Corner 3 presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. Back with Alan and Wally. And Coach Mike Brown was talking, Alan, about Dillon Brooks. He was great when the game began. He had 20 of his 27 in the first half. Appropriate that we're at the Corner 3 because Brooks went 5 of 9 from downtown. Yeah. He's having a career year. We talked about it in the game with the way he's scoring, and he was really good tonight. Yeah, but he's not a big-time three-point shooter. He's 35%, which is around the league average or a little bit lower, but it was for him, the threes were dropping early, and 4 for 6 in the first half from downtown. And Wally, we have seen the Knicks have opponents that you don't expect to be big three-point shooters, and they have big three-point shooting nights. Why is it that they don't recognize it early, like Mike Brown said, and as you always like to say, turn off the water?
Yeah, you got to make sure you don't allow guys to get into rhythm. I got a text from the Hall of Fame, 2-time Super Bowl winning Pittsburgh Steelers coach Bill Cowher, and he said, I want guys like Dillon Brooks on my team. Oh, yeah. Gritty, grindy, defensive-minded, emotional, talk smack, makes big shots. When he makes shots, he lets everyone in the building know that he just made a big shot. He'd be a good football player, right? He sure would. Oh, yeah. He's physical, he's tough, and he's really developed his offensive game. He broke into the league as a defensive stopper and an irritating type guy. He's averaging 21 points per game this year. Yeah. I mean, that's a big number. When you look, a guy like OG, obviously there are other offensive weapons on the Knicks. He's averaging 15. Dillon Brooks, same type of player, giving you 21 a night. He's having a career year. That's why the Suns are having a breakout season. All right, we talked about Jalen Brunson's fourth quarter struggles. Rare for him, only 1 of 6 shooting with 2 turnovers. Only had 2 fourth quarter points. Here's Brunson now after the game.
It felt like that game could have gone either way down the stretch. What made the difference?
Obviously, my turnover at the end. Yeah, just good defense by Oso. Just having hands up and not letting me create enough space. And so just a careless pass. And that was the game.
Jalen, I just want to ask you about Colin Gillespie. Just what have you thought about his growth and what you've seen since you played together at Villanova?
Man, he's been unbelievable. Someone whose story is pretty unique when it comes to his basketball journey, and just to see where he is now, I'm super proud of him. And he's never given up. He's never stopped working. He's had setbacks throughout his career, but he's always pushed through and worked. So, man, I love him for real. He's one of my brothers, so I've just got a lot of respect for him and the way he's playing, and he's affecting winning as well.
He said you guys.
Talking there about Colin Gillespie, they played together at Villanova, and he only had 6 points, but Jalen was impressed with him anyway.
The Villanova blue blood runs strong through those two, and Gillespie took over the point guard duties after, Jalen Brunson had a historic 2-time national championship winning career, and Gillespie was a similar type player where he just carried the torch, and Villanova had a lot of good years under his leadership at point guard. Yeah, one quickly thing. Jalen Brunson shot 5 of 10 from 3, but he missed 2 in the fourth quarter, so he was having a very efficient scoring night, but that is not a typical performance in crunch time for him. No. And always, he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to take the blame and be accountable as Brunson and the Knicks go down tonight to Phoenix 112-107.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
All right, guys, so the road trip continues at Portland Sunday, 5:30 pregame game here at 6, and then the Knicks at the Kings Wednesday, back-to-back Thursday. They are at Golden State, and they come home to take on these Suns on Saturday. First, you're pointing, what do you have?
First 2 days off consecutive in a month. The last time the Knicks had multiple days off in a row, 2, was right before the NBA Cup.
Yeah.
So they could really use that little break.
Now, is that helpful on the road, Wally, to have 2 days off in a row on the road?
Rather have them at home, that's for sure. But any 2-day off break is important. It's good, and you can gear up for this rest of this trip. 3 out of 4 would be nice if they could get it done. It hurts to lose the first one, though.
All right, next up, Portland, and then it's the Kings and the Warriors. We'll continue with more after this as the Knicks lose tonight to the Suns by 5. We wrap up the post-game show and remind you the next Knicks game here on MSG is Sunday from Portland. Note the start time for the pregame show, 5:30. Game at 6. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.